unprepared as one can be.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 169. As Willie said, as per usual, we're as unprepared as we can be.
It's a shit show. I'm just
So,
coming from
for that sole reason, please like and subscribe if you haven't yet already.
Cool, ready to go. I got all the windows open.
Yay!
Right on. Oh boy.
As per usual, fun trolling allowed, annoying trolling will fucking ban you. If your name is Brian and you're coping that you only have lap 5 still, then that's fine. You can be sad about it in the comments. That's totally cool with us.
Shit, what is the phono, right? Yeah, phono is the net music. I need to turn on the 5s. Because, sorry, Brian. I just got them from Fix, and I want to make sure that they're running for a while. Oh, God. Phono, there we go, phono.
Yeah. And since it's just the two of us, I have some light background music. If it's too low or too high, let me know. It's only at 20%, so room left to grow. I hope all is well. Another shout out if you're in Australia and you need some help. ET Technical, Eric, great. Other Eric, great guy.
That's right. Yeah, he's done some awesome work, man, over time for sure. And then I bought a whole bunch of stuff from him. So he's also got shit to sell, y'all.
Yeah.
Actually, the last thing I bought from him was 4 BeoTime 4s. Or 5, I don't remember
what
how
do you
many.
need 4 or 5 for?
Backup.
So I take it you took all the batteries out once you got them.
Oh fuck yeah, the batteries are out. They were already like on a brink, but this is like 2 years ago now.
So ET Technical, and
maybe one day I'll do a BeoTime giveaway on our 200th. But maybe on the 200th, I was thinking about the BeoSound 5 for the 200th show.
Can I enter?
For the BeoTime?
Yeah.
Just send you one. Fuck. What is this? Twitch.com. Yeah, that's where I got to be.
And on other news, Bang and Olufsen Calgary.com. Bio Calgary is up and running.
Yeah, I got my website. I don't hate on it still. I got to work on it a little more, but yeah, it's up and running, I guess. Today, then actually, it's August 1, so today I'm legit. I've re-registered my business, so I'm back online. Proper, but not officially with B&O yet. We'll see. So, yeah.
Well, if they call you, then at least you have stuff.
Yep. I deleted so much off of that website because I had all the products and descriptions to them and stuff, like, you know, what they do and how they connect and all that. Thanks, Amir. So, yeah, I just nuked all of it. It's still a little simple, I guess, but fuck, you got to start somewhere, man. So, yeah, and I gotta pay another subscription thing for the Weebly thing to get out. And see, like under the services, I want to do certain things. Like I want to do those into tabs. So like the design stage, the pre-wire installation, so on and so forth, that is underneath it all, and installing the product and blah blah blah. Like yeah, there's a lot of thought, that a lot of cigars smoked over top of this. So. Yeah, and that's basically the gist of it.
It's nice that you can put your own projects in there.
Yeah, they're all of everything there that I've done is I've touched, I've installed. Well, this is cheating because that's my apartment, right? But it still looks good. Like it's still a system that has been installed. This is a job that I'm actually dealing with right now, the BeoSound 5 and Lab 5s. That Lab 5 is no longer where it is. And yeah, this used to be a 740 on that wall. This was my.
Can you make this slower? Besides pausing.
I think so. I don't know why I left it the way it was by default, but I didn't really play with it. Yeah, this is a BV11. Look at the fucking Lab 11 and the play of It sits on 2 cubes. If you go back one.
Where are you, Lab? Oh yeah.
So there it is. Look at that Lab 11. It looks like it's floating in the midair, but it's just like those 2 cubes that it's sitting on lined up perfectly with the floor and the baseboard.
They're also basically the same color as the floor.
Yeah, it's the optical illusion is crazy on that. So,
I
didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah, I have a feeling Don will get some leather from Berluti someday soon.
Wrap your Lab 11 with it. That would actually look kind of cool. But it wouldn't pay the money.
It would literally feel like your nutsack at that point.
That's totally like the bull balls.
Well, maybe you can ask for that part of the skin. I don't know.
That's right. Beolip's growth sack. So yeah, that was an old job. That apartment was so old. That lady's now in Victoria. And this is a cool project that we had. This is where the BeoVision Avant used to be. And we put the BB11 in there on STB floor stand high, so they can actually, because that's a bedroom, right? You can see the bed on the edge. So they could actually watch the TV and not their toes, or in between the toes.
Yeah, it's nice that STB makes that sort of stuff. And it's not
fucking lifesaver for those kind of projects, man.
Yeah.
And you can still turn it manually, which, you know, like, there's no really need, but like it is. That apartment was amazing. Still is amazing. It was a plastic surgeon that used to live there, and he basically designed the entire place himself. Designed the entire Lutron before the Radio Raw was even invented. There was a whole Lutron system that he's put in, and everything works through BNO remotes because he had these. I don't even remember what the fuck brand they were. These little flash repeaters that they would go and they would take the BO4 commands, light commands, and he would actually have it engraved here from 1 to 9 what they do in each room, and you would just put light 1 and it would do a certain scene that would set. Like, that was fucking before Gateway was even a thought. This was a really cool apartment. I think I pulled almost no. I think it was close to 3 or 4 kilometers of coax cable when we did.
I'm more so geeking out on all the faceplates in the wall that it's so easy to attach everything.
Oh yeah, and this is the outside wall, so in between, like, there is a frost barrier and stuff, but you can still shove your hand in there. And the reason why there was 3 of them, because it was the old Avant, so there was the master link, all the analog ass sources coming in. Like, dude, that was a horse cog worth of cable going into that TV for all the sources that they had. So, because that was pre-HDMI, so every Blu-ray would be yellow, green, and blue, right? Plus SPDIF, so there's 4 coax cables going in per source. So
yeah, it's nice to see projects like this. This other place, I like that lamp, by the way, almost more than the BSN 35.
And if you look very, very, very far back, above the chair, that little stick that sticks out, that's a Beolab 6000, right below. Like, it's basically right below those spiralet bocce balls. Yeah, these are bocce balls, or what they're called, the bocce lamps. I think that chandelier was close to 30K.
I wouldn't be surprised. Artsy stuff like that is usually super expensive.
Those ladies were just hooked on glass. Like, there is really little, because this was right after the reno, so they haven't really moved anything. It was all in the one other room. But this is an apartment in Vancouver where the lady bought her neighbor's apartment out and tore down the wall and basically fucking made this a 3,000 square foot apartment on Beach Avenue on 25th floor, if I remember she is, overlooking the entire ocean and the port and pier, and you can see the fucking tankers come in, so on and so forth. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, and there's
nice
a BeoSound 35
well.
right at the very bottom edge of where the fireplace sits.
Yeah, Don, give Willie a call. Get one of these at least for, like, above a dining room or whatever. It's nice.
35s are nice, but they are kind of.
Or you can get a stage now for the same price, more or less.
I would do the stage for, like, with no, like, not even a thought. What I think you should do, that the Essence or the Halo remote should actually show time. I think it should do that.
Yeah. Then again,
if you, like, pair it to, like, a 35 or something, because, like, I do miss the time on new products, like, you know, especially when you put something in the bedroom. Like, you're always relying to either look at your phone but I have a Beosound 3. This is that fucking ridiculous project, and this is the Lab 5 sitting here now that...
these guys have the 90s now, right?
These guys have the 90s now, yeah, that I went to install those. And the BV9 is gone. Like, we just basically salvaged the processor from it. And the frame is in my bedroom that I'm going to make a mirror out of at some point of time. Now that the COVID's blown over, and as of August 16th, it doesn't exist, I'm gonna go look at some millwork stuff. And this is my bedroom and all the default stuff.
Wait, is this a polished Beolab 2 or something?
No, dude. This is it's a double. Like, it's actually two of them, one on top of the other. If you see the handle of the chair, there is another one continuous. It's just a side table. It's fucking polished steel. I didn't know how heavy this was. I had to move it the other day, and because I was moving the Lab 5 from that place, and I was like, holy Christ, this is like, and it looks very Lab 2-ish. And they do have a Lab 2 around the corner. There's Lab 3s also on the wall where the TV is. So it does really tie into the whole.
We all need a Lab 2 in our lives.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the short of it, I guess, with my website.
Yeah, it's nice. And this was that godforsaken place with only windows.
Yeah. But then this was like, we put the TV on, and I think the week after he was already scheduled guys to put the actual blackout blinds and shit on the dining side of the table where you can see the chairs in the TV and such. Like, it was really it's super bright where they are, and I think it's on the 18th floor as well. So they're, in Calgary, that means that you're getting sun for much longer than anybody else on the ground does, because we're so high up.
Yeah.
Sunrise and sundown takes a while. Yeah, those cabinets I'm still jealous of the old B&O cabinets.
Yeah, I like that old B&O furniture.
That paint is a son of a bitch, though. Like, that was the biggest mistake that they've used on it. Depends on where you have it. Like, his is starting to become sticky, but he's got all the UV treatment that the money could buy for the windows. So not much of it is being eaten, but still. Like,
well, at least you can repaint it.
Yeah. This also has a little bit of a trouble.
I mean, it's how old by now? 20-odd years for those cabinets?
Yeah, there would be. It would be a while, because this one would be the first one we've had in the store, because that was the shop demo. So this would have been 2004, 5 maybe? So 16, 17 years, I think they would be. Maybe a while.
Yeah, question to chat. Do we want B&O furniture once again? Because
it'd be cool if they
I'm
did.
kind of missing it. They always had some cool stuff to put your other B&O gear.
But I think the problem is now that you don't really have that many physical sources in the modern day and age household, right? Like, everything is either in an Apple TV, and more things come in pre-installed with everything else in it already.
Yeah, even so. It's nice to have a nice looking side table.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a TV that is a gonzo now. It's been replaced by some, Samsung 70-something inch idiocy.
It does look good.
This looks awesome. But the new one doesn't. Even the picture sucks comparatively to the BV12. I don't know why the fuck he did that, but he just did it. But that was
more pixels is more better or something.
Though that TV did struggle in that house because it was way too bright. At night it was great, but that TV has thousands of hours of Filipino channel, because that's all what Nanny used to watch on it. And it's a 4x3 as well, so it burned in nicely. So yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the black bars there. It's another thing to have it on the side.
Allah Black Bar, fucking, yeah, what a shit show.
I mean, coming back to the furniture, I don't even necessarily want B&O to make it themselves. They can slap a label on it for all I care. But bloody hell, please put some designs in or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like even the what was it, the CD rack that came with the 3200, or the Overture was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your website up and going.
Finally. So yeah, there's, you know, what I struggled with, because I have so many pictures, and also I have some NDAs with clients, so I don't want to post. I have a lot more fucking cooler projects that I have on my sleeve, but I can't talk about them, or I can't show them. I can talk about it, I just don't show them.
No, it makes sense. Not everybody. I mean,
not everybody is.
In all honesty, I take some pictures away when I'm filming in the living room. Because I don't know if the people in the pictures specifically want to be in videos and stuff.
Just put black masking tape on their eyes and shit.
Really make them look like criminals.
Just all anonymous. Fuck. Oh, that'd be so funny. Megan goes, what the fuck is wrong with our pictures? Oh, it's a new anonymity filter, honey. So yeah. Apparently, also, my shenanigans of last weekend carried on a little further past than I thought would have been. So
which shenanigans?
So other than my fucking outrageous bill in Bourbon place, I decided when I got home, and I was at that point fucking time traveling. I went on eBay and ordered another watch. I woke up to a fucking notification that it's shipped. I'm like, hold on a second, what is being shipped? I don't think I bought anything, and apparently I did. So yeah, there's another G-Shock coming up.
Oops.
Oops, daisy.
Well, at least it's something you like.
Yeah, definitely wasn't my watch list, but now I got my eyeball on the juicer. So if anybody in the chat has experience with juicers, and I'm not talking like steroid ones and shit. Yeah, I'm not talking steroids, like citrus juicers. I'm all about it now.
You've decided on a drunken stupor.
I'm doing a fucking juicing, dude. I gotta start juicing, bro. So, well, I drink a lot of oranges. It's so I believe that the Tropicana and all this shit is starting to become more and more chemical now. So I'll just buy a juicer and
do it yourself.
Yeah, because I looked at like one of those that you press the shit into, right? Like I got to peel the fucking things and whatever, and I'm like never gonna juice like strawberries or any of this weird shit. You know, wheatgrass. Fuck off. I'll just need, you know, a lemon juicer or a citrus juicer. So I think I found what I wanted. But is what it is.
Yeah. In the meantime, B&O brought out some new headphones.
I know. I was looking at them. Looking at John's video, very nicely done. He's getting better and better in this shit. I really like it. Of
course. He was always good, even when he started with his bloody phone.
Oh yeah, but still, like, it's just getting pro-ish now. I was a little disappointed, even though like they do sound like an actual telephone call when they're on the, you know, headphones. I wish that they were a little better. They got 6 microphones now, 3 in each or 6 in each.
I think 6 in each. We can look at the tech specs. Where are you? I think 6 in each, but I think you only use 2 for the actual phone bit. Oh, 6, so 3 in each. And they use the same beam directional for speech, which is the same on like the portals.
Well, Alex, it's hard to compare the sound because none of us have them on hand yet.
Yeah, it's one of these launches where not everybody has the same. One thing, though, I must say with these, compared to the B&O ones with the EQ, is that... here, come on. This presents with B&O straight labeled. Like, it's tiny, but this bugs the shit out of me that the B&O is crooked in the case.
What do you mean?
Like, not on the E8, on the new ones, on the EQs.
Oh, they're like fucking all over the map?
Yeah, the B&O is like, hey, that's B&O, and that one is B&O.
Yeah, but when you put it in your head, it's fine, right?
Sure, but this is like when you present headphones, like you open these and you see B&O, B&O. when you go open these, it's like...
Yeah, these are little fucking googly-eyed over there.
Because,
Freaking...
I mean, this is maybe a pet peeve of mine, but in terms of presenting, right, you would look at your product like this more than when it's in your ear. With Cassette over on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. Says they point like a bad boob job.
They kind of do. Like, I wish that they did the logos proper. I'm sure there's a rhyme and reason why not.
I think it's the new flatter case design, and the logo sits upright in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Because I totally agree with John. Like, this is kind of bulky to have in your pocket. It's like, depending on where... I honestly
care less what they look like in a freaking case, because I don't really... You know, like, it's not something that, like, you know, just take them out, pop them in my head, and that's it.
Depending on where this sits in your pocket and how your pocket of your pants is shaped, it can make you look rather excited.
It's like a big fucking Tic Tac, dude.
Yes, but if you have one of those pockets that is more angled towards the inner thigh, so to say.
You got an elongated apple.
Yes, something like that.
Oh, God.
One of them just dropped, so to say. But again, hugely important with these, as well as with the new ones, is the tips, ladies. The tip matters a heck of a lot.
Of course it does. You gotta seal your fucking head properly.
Yeah. So... The major difference, really, in between the new ones, the EQs, which I sort of like the name, but it's going to be weird for referencing any sort of other EQ, meaning frequency response, is that these have active noise cancelling and these are only passive. I'm not entirely sure the active noise cancelling is all that needed if you choose the right tip.
I don't understand. Like, I used to listen to the in-ear headphones quite a bit, the buds, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember like the Sonys and such. Like, this was before obviously B&O ever had anything other than the A8s, which became something else afterwards. Like, you put those in, you can fucking hear yourself swallow and think, man, and breathe inside yourself and shit. Like, I don't understand why you need, like, what does that add to the whole concept of sound quality when you actually do noise canceling? Like, you can only cancel out, honestly, so much, because the rest just, the rest of the noise vibration just carries through your bone.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I bet you, though, they will sound better and
well, one would hope,
but active noise cancelling especially stands and falls with how well the seal is of the in-ear,
of course,
tip. I for the longest time used the memory foam on these, and that was excellent, although I found that the memory foam didn't last me all that long with heavy use. It lasted me like 6 months or so before it actually began.
Well, but they're like those rollable earplugs, right? So
yeah.
At some point they do wear out. That's goofy silicone does go.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can only buy the whole baggie of ear tips, and then you have like everything double, which is like,
Yeah, I agree with Sandeep's point that the transparency mode you would definitely use, especially on the earplugs, that you can actually.
These have
like,
that too.
So, but yeah, you definitely benefit out of it.
I mean,
but I don't think the noise canceling is. I think it's a selling gimmick. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it does. Like, I haven't heard these headphones, so I can't judge what they sound like. Mm-hmm. And then again, I'm not a big earphones guy to begin with. But I might. I was talking to Nick yesterday over the phone because he's just about to go to Peru. He bought a set of H95s.
Pick up a package.
Yeah. And he was like, he's just, fuck, dude, these things are unbelievable. It's like, I stayed up till fucking 3 a.m. or whatever, just listening to, because you just, you know, when you get to the thing, like, oh, I want to hear what this sounds like. I want to hear what this sounds like. And yeah, I'm quite intrigued about the H95s. probably just for the gaming sakes of it too. Connect them to the Bluetooth and have a good time.
I mean, the E8 3.0s are my daily driver for just about everything around the house. And it annoys my girlfriend to no end because she can't see if I'm wearing headphones or not from like more than 5 meters away.
Mm-hmm.
And she quite often starts talking, thinking
To
I'm
herself.
listening. And then I have to go, oh, transparency mode. Sorry, what? But that's what I mean. Like, as soon as, like, these only have, like, the passive ear canal blocking, right? And it makes an enormous difference if you pick the right tip. Currently, I have the silicone ones on it. And if you pick the right size and you get them out of your ear, they almost turn inside out. That's how well they seal. And that makes you basically deaf. I mean, you still hear loud noises around you, but if music is playing, not so much. I also think, who was it who asked about it? Alexander. I think you hoped B&O would make the EQs a bit more bass heavy. I haven't tried them. I will try them and I'll report back as soon as I can tell, which is probably Wednesday or so. Maybe Thursday. But I doubt they've gone full on bass heavy, because that's just not something B&O does, or not tend to do, really.
I think that those in-ear headphones tend to have a bass heavy direction on their own. I think that it's good that they tone them down if that's the complaint, that they're not as bass heavy. But then again, like, when I first bought my A8s from B&O back in 2001, this is the first, earphones that these guys had. I was coming from like the Sonys and Panasonic in-ears, right? And I put these on. I'm like, where the fuck's the bass? Like, it's just all trebles and highs, because I was so attuned to just the wrong sound per se that I didn't realize what I was missing. And dude, I've listened to these things for now 20 years. And I've listened to everything on them, and I still swear by these are like, I would almost call them my reference headphones or earphones. But I like the fact that when you pause something, you can still hear, where the in-ear ones, it was fucking look both ways twice before you cross the street, because you ain't gonna hear nothing. Especially when you got like fucking Fatboy Slim screaming in your head and whatnot. Like, it's just not happening.
Alexander says, I find the E8 first gen to have better sound than the third gen. That is a problem in the sense of that is subjective. I think we spoke a bit about this last week in reference to 28s to other speakers. And what we as humans perceive to be better sounding doesn't always measure better. And B&O tends to measure fairly flat with a bit of a lift towards the high end. So it could very well be that the E8 first gen were their sort of first step into in-ear headphones, wirelessly, that I mean. And then the tuning wasn't as refined because they have their own sound signature and almost everything adheres to that. The only thing that more or less doesn't full on adhere to B&O sound signature are the portals and the stage. And that is hugely due to Dolby's involvement. Because the Dolby curve is different than the B&O curve, so to say.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not right or wrong. You can change a heck of a lot with it within the app and make it kind of boomy. I mean, to my ears anyway, like I can make these fairly heavy bass machines and I it's kind of like I
For
don't
what?
like them that way, because you lose some of the mid-range and high-end, especially the high-end. And I'm personally more impressed with any speaker and or set of headphones that can be accurate in the high-end than things that just go
Well, that's beats for you almost, right? And it's just everything's drowned out. They sound great because they go, dude, there's no fucking definition in the sound at all. It's just you listen to bass.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to something that is so bassy that it basically vibrates your earlobes and good for you. I ain't into that either. I honestly am not. But I am thinking of the H95s out of all those. Like those EQ whatevers, they're okay. They look nice.
To me, they look very nice. The case looks excellent. I'm very impressed with how long the battery life is on these. Like 6+ hours when they're fully charged is a long ass time for small in-ear earbuds.
Yeah.
And that's, again, one thing B&O differs into just about any other brand. You can actually believe the battery specs on the piece of paper on the back. Like,
yeah, it's cool because from when I was watching John's video, it's got 3 battery gauges.
Yeah.
In the app, right? One for each headphone. And I like the fact that you can use them individually. So they finally picked up on the Apple's ability. So I guess for the long phone calls, which I don't think you can actually run out of battery under normal circumstances, even if you use both of them for a Skype call of an extended time. You know,
no,
shit like what we do.
I've had before, like, where I've used this throughout the day, right? And you just stuff in and around the house, and you get a voice and you get a call and they run out. With these you can use the one thing, but only the right one, because that's like the master earbud. So the left earbud pairs to the right, and then the right pairs to whatever device you're using. So
that would suck because I'm a left ear phone guy.
Yeah. Somehow the right earbud fits somewhat okay in my left ear, so I sometimes just
fuck. Because I always with the left. I don't know why. It's weird because I don't hear as good on the right side. But I'm deafer on this side apparently, according to my tests that I took like a few years back. I wonder. Obviously, that didn't improve, given how I listen to my music. But it's not normally that loud anymore.
Here, John is showing his lack of bulge now.
I know. Clink. But they're way sleeker than the other ones, man.
John, if you're listening, you have no bulge.
Playing the darts next. Right on. That's right. I haven't worn this one on the podcast, so I get abused for it.
I mean,
I like them. Is it a brown case, or like are they brown in color?
It's
or the anthracite, or
sort of anthracite-y. It almost has a purple hue in it.
Oh, don't say that.
Well,
but
anthracite,
they kind of do.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it.
I mean, John's just showing off a bloody 90s in the back and a massive stage, obviously.
Yep. I fucking forgot to order the Qi charger.
What, the Berluti one for $700-something dollars?
No, I want to get the B&O one. I'm fucking Berluti one. Shit with the stupid, leather cord.
Now, this is the most useless use of a Beolit. What is it, 2021?
They should have just discontinued this fucking thing, man. This wind is irritating me. It's slapping the blinds across the window, and I'm not liking it. I might have to close the window in a second.
I mean, but the most important thing, even if you think you got the right tip now, I would say for your old ones, go look up the baggie with the other tips and try it again. And just because your right or your left ear canal is a large doesn't mean your other one is. So, and it really bloody matters.
It does. Not to me, because I'm not using them, but it definitely does. I think I'm more or less scarred by the same fact as John is with people trying them in the store and they pull out freaking candle wax out of their head, and oh, it's just fucking McNasty. But I guess now with COVID, I don't think you can really do that anymore. Like, you go in the shops and try shit out like that.
Well, right? You can use it as a sort of tool to annoy people. Like, put your mask on, give you your ear, psh, psh, psh. Put some alcohol in somebody's ear.
Couple pumps into an ear canal. Here's a complimentary Beo Q-tip 1.
Yeah.
Fucking get the suds out and let's go.
At our vet, they actually give you complimentary Q-tips to use the ATM or the card machine to put in your PIN code, so you don't have to touch the thing.
Q-tips, Jesus Christ. Love the ones where people use their keys and just fuck the buttons right up on everything.
Yep. Yeah, bring your own tips.
Yeah, no, that's like bring your own headphones, bitch. I'm not even like kidding. I've never shared my headphones with people. I'm like, that's one thing that I won't do with people is to share headphones and tap dicks. There's no way I'm doing neither of them. Gross.
It's like docking, but different.
Yeah, dude. ShareMyWax.com. Fucking gross.
I bet you there's a market for that somewhere.
Sure, there's a magazine for it too. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I must say, I like him in every which way. Except for, like, basically the presentation in the case with the B&O logo being...
googly-eyed?
Yeah. Because the materials look nicer. The case looks a lot nicer. I like that in the app you now get to see how far the case is.
See, but if they were to put it with your OCD approval and fucking have them proper sides up, there's really no room for the battery, because that middle hump is more or less the battery pack, right, for the innards.
True. I know. It's just a nitpick, but
so quit your bitching, bro.
No, we're being honest. Like I'm saying, I like these, and most likely I will go on using them for a long ass time if I get a pair, because I already like my E8 Gen 3s. They can be like if you get the proper tips. If I choose one of the tips that is too small, they become very airy and flimsy. If you get the proper seal, all of a sudden you get like a full surround or a full like surround EQ sort of bump, which is you really have to like fiddle with that for like an hour or two. And also listen to what sounds best, because I found, for instance, that my left ear canal is a bit, apparently, minimally smaller than my right, meaning it's better to put a slightly smaller silicone tip on my left ear. Because with like the big one, it seals off so much, but also when you move, it literally will start pushing it out of your ear canal. So I've had a few times.
Side like that, or like
no, you walk around, you pick something up, that sort of stuff, right?
Oh.
And every so often with both the L silicone ones, I've had that my left ear fell out. I mean, recently I was cleaning something, and obviously the left one fell out in a bucket of water.
Oh shit!
But it was clean and it survived.
What was in the water? Did you have like a solvent in there?
Yeah, soda.
That's not that bad. If you had like fucking Mr. Clean or something, the logo would have peeled off.
Yeah, well, it was bicarbonate, so it wasn't too bad. But I mean, it was a good 40 centimeters of water in the bucket.
Okay, I'm gonna disappear from the frame, but I can still keep the headphones. I'm gonna fucking close this window because I will have a goddamn aneurysm. This is just too annoying.
Yeah, John said he had a box of... No, as I understand it, and as is normal with the E8s, is you get the baggie of all the ear tips, and you get the what is it, the small, medium, large, and extra small, and then you also get the squishy, the memory foam.
Yeah, the memory foams.
I mean, the memory foam. The memory foam did sound the best. But like I said, I had the least amount of longevity with those because I use them literally every day, these. I don't think there is a day where I do not use these.
So how much battery power did you lose over time? Because obviously there's a degradation in the performance of the battery over time as well, right?
Very little.
Yeah?
Not perceptibly much. And I've been daily driving them for close to a year now.
Wow, that's good.
I mean, if anything that's lost anything, it's the case. Like it was before something like 3.5 full charges, and now it's more like 3. But does that matter? No, because 3 charges is 24 hours of listening. Something like that. Yeah,
that's fair. Does it charge it just as fast from the case, like DC to DC, basically, to transfer the charge?
Yeah. The thing in cold weather that's nice is if you charge the case while the ear tips are, or the earbuds are also charging, the earbuds get quite warm. So when you put them in, it's like, ooh, nice.
That's funny.
They're like preheated to body temperature.
Well, these probably would have the same thing, though.
Yeah.
They would do the same effect.
I mean, what I personally mostly love is that this case is so much slimmer. Because this thing is so fucking bulbous, I never take it with me unless it's in a bag or something.
Oh, I agree with you. I wouldn't carry that in the pocket. It's too much.
I mean, I like the case. I like that it's leather, but partially because it's leather and, like, you feel how soft it is when you put a nail against it. And it's like, fuck it, I'm leaving this home. I don't want to damage it. Which is why I like the new case better, because it's aluminium on the outside.
No, it's the same that the Explorer is made out of, right?
Yeah.
With that crazy
and
whatever.
And that it's like a massive suppository, sort of. I don't want to carry this with me.
It's for my hemorrhoids.
Yeah, something like that.
Fuck.
I mean, and even compared to the E8 Sports, like, you can tell the difference. Like, it's nearly half the size, the case.
Yeah, dude. Well, you can't take shower with those, though. Fuck.
Do you want to?
I don't know who does.
Like, don't you want to wash your ears?
No, dude, you gotta save the wax, bro. That's the hashtag, save the wax.
I mean, that's partially why I have an M3 in the bathroom. If I want to listen to music, I'll turn the M3 on in the bathroom.
Yeah, I have the A3 or M3 in there too. I like it a lot.
I mean, so far, with all because our ventilation is kind of shitty, it's had no issue whatsoever.
With what? Like the humidity and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude, you gotta try much harder than what you're doing right now in order to fuck that thing up. After what I've seen in Denmark, like what they put these things through, dude, there is no fucking way that you could actually ever emulate these conditions unless you do something insane, like have a shower in -30 in your hot-ass bathroom and then take the M3, unplug it, and plug it out on the balcony and go for a cigar. Which at that point you're gonna have a fucking pneumonia before you're halfway through the stick, and that thing is just gonna be frozen solid and play.
Yeah,
yeah, it's insane. It's insane what they do to these products when they test them. I wish more people. I wish that they actually did a little tour video of like the basement. The BNO needs to make a basement video where this is being beaten the fucking crap out of and tested and frozen and microvibrated and thawed and just everything that you could possibly imagine happens to these things. That's what they think they should make a video about.
Anybody listening, that was me. Something stopped working on my PC. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Nice. So yeah, I do like them. I like the very slim profile.
Yeah, what is it? The sand color I kind of don't like.
That's a girl color, dude. That's freaking makeup kit case. Like, that's cool for chicks, in my opinion. But the black is where it's at, for me at least.
Yeah, mean, I like that it's available, but give it 3-4 months and you have like 5 other colors again, as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these
I hope
also
they don't
came
go
in
with that goofy green to match the
These came in
X4.
that green.
I know.
And they also came in pink and what is it? The gold color that's around now.
Way past me. I don't follow the headphones as much as I used to anymore.
What do you think of the price? I mean, it's €400 more.
It's a little steep.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Especially now that you can get the third gen for $350.
But then again, I don't know how much value to put on it because I am so not interested in the headphones or earphones. I just do not use them. Like the only time I use headphones are for these podcasts. That's it. Like even when I play my video games, I play them on a freaking the monitor sound. Well, I don't have a spouse to fucking tell me to not do that. And second of all, I just like the sound of this. Like I partially bought this computer because of this the B&O sound system in it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a headphone comparison up on my YouTube channel where I compare all the mics amongst other things as well, and the E8s already are really good. And I think these H4s and the E8s were the top runners of all the microphones. This was pre the test of the portals. So the E8s, the portals, and the H4s are really good. The H9's eyes, the H9 third gens were honestly quite shit. And the H95s from Mike was a bit... It was right in the middle, which is kind of... I mean, I guess you don't really buy that headphone for voice quality, but it's kind of like, ooh, this could have been better.
£399. That's what, $600 for a set of headphones?
Euro. Let's see.
Or was it euro?
Yeah.
So what? $500 for 50?
$590. Yeah.
Shit, that's a lot of money for headphones.
I mean, for that sort of price, I'd much rather spend a bit more and get the portals.
You really gotta like your earbuds to spend that much money on the earbuds, in my opinion.
Or spend less and get second gen H4s.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're an earbud guy, right? Like, you're gonna go and try to justify spending that cash. So, how much? Let's just compare something like across the board, like what Sennheisers per se. Do they make earbuds still?
I think so. Not sure since they got bought by some other company.
What, Beats?
No, I forget which company bought them. Except wireless headphones. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sennheiser. Sennheiser kind of has a reputation that, yes, the materials aren't as nice, they sound excellent, and are quite durable. I mean, they're starting at, what, $100? 130 USD? Which is a lot lower. Yes, the B&O is premium, but that is heavy premium.
Scroll down, see if there's any more, or that's just all they got. 3.
They have the sort of semi-wireless things. Like, I personally don't like the in-ear things if it comes with a bloody cord like this attached.
No, I don't want those, like, fucking grandfather glasses retainers and shit, like, or your glasses stems. No, so they only have 3 of them. So $250 is the most expensive ones.
Yeah, they would have to be an awful lot better than these. And I haven't heard these.
They look like shit, quite honestly, right? Like the design is ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to justify where that $600 would come from. Like, what is that is making that product so premium?
I bet you there's a B&O tax on it for sure. In America, the B&O website lists the EQs for 400 USD.
Really? Let me check this out. So you guys are getting hosed on headphones in Europe. Fuck you, buddy.
Well, yeah, kinda.
And then they make it up all and freaking charging like $30,000 more instead of 90s and shit here.
Because it would technically be cheaper for me to buy them off of you.
They're $529 my price here. So this is in Canadian dollars that they show everything now. My God, they still have the Beoplay E4s, the power of silence with the freaking dongly noise cancelling thing. I
don't know.
That's what shows here. I should just order them and see if they come in, so I can just return them. You shouldn't sell these anymore. H95s are $11.50. That's not bad, unless we go to Berluti, and then they're $18.50, which is tragic. But yeah. Whatever. People buy watches with diamonds on them too, and they tell the same time. So.
Yeah, it doesn't make it any better, in my opinion.
I'm strongly now considering BeoSound a 1 gen because mine is fucked. It's given up a ghost.
By the way, lastly, if you're looking for headphones, the H4 Gen 2s, these are fucking excellent.
Which ones?
The H4 Gen 2s, or 2nd gen. They are really great, and they are, for what B&O offers, very cheap. €300 for the ones I'm wearing now. I also use these just about every day with my PC, especially if I'm not gaming, and I use these. But even for gaming, they're very nice, especially if you're looking for something that's a bit more bass heavy. These are much more to the old-fashioned Beoplay sort of tonal thing. Like they're not so sterile to listen to as a lot of B&O stuff is. Which I must say I normally enjoy, but I also like these, as in it's much more the playful. The portals are like over the top compared to that. The portals are way better. I mean, you do lose out on the transparency and tapping and nothing works and that sort of thing. But then again, since they're normal headphones, you just do that and you're transparent.
There's the world again.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's interesting how they price them differently. But even though still $529, well, plus tax, so it's still gonna be $600 at the end of the day. It'd be $560. It's $25 or $5 per 100 that we get taxed here. So, yeah, they still are expensive in my eyes. Like says the guy that has the 90s, right? But I just that's not my justification field for spending money on. I'd rather, I don't know. I guess I'd rather piss that money away on a bourbon night than buy a set of EQs.
In terms of color settings, I do think these HXs look fabulous in this sort of tobacco brown.
They do look good.
And aluminium.
Yeah, the timber color looks good. I do like them.
I mean, that's one of the best looking headphones out there, really, to my eyes. But do you buy headphones for the looks? Maybe only partially. I personally
if you buy Berluti, you definitely buy them for the looks of it.
Yeah, that's only the H95s, though.
Yeah, but that's only for the looks of it, because there's no difference in sound quality, of course. But
yeah. I mean, I like the look of these a lot. I still have to get them, but like most things B&O, if you want it, you're better off ordering it blind at this point in time, more or less. Because there's so much backlog in parts deliveries, manufacturing everywhere, worldwide deliveries, and you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've looked for, the first month these were out, and you just couldn't get them. I mean, like we said last week, the Beolab 28s takes, depending on where you are in the world, 3 to 4 months to get them.
I don't understand what you're going about there. A gaming headphone without a microphone. They all have microphones.
Yeah. The Portal has that same beam functionality thing.
Yeah.
And I must say, when that Dolby Atmos is, that EQ is on and whatever device knows it's playing Atmos, holy fuck, it sounds good.
That's why I kind of want them, because I don't really care for subscribing for Dolby Atmos for my computer. But to buy the headphones that actually work like that,
I mean,
that would be a hell of an experience for playing a video game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean...
Have you played shit on them yet, or no?
Oh, yeah.
So what's your impression of it?
It's fantastic. For gaming especially. For movies too. I also watched a movie on the computer with it. The Atmos, I don't know how they do it with 2 drivers, but like that demo they show, right? Like you can literally tell where it is behind you. And I know you can sort of do it one way or another, but it's nice that it's basically plug and play and select and you go. I mean, I guess the difference with the Portals versus like these is that the Portals obviously have the Dolby Atmos subscription sort of tied into a chip somewhere, and your computer can see that. And so you set it to Dolby, and within like first-person shooting games, you can kind of really... Like when you hear footsteps, right? Like normally in these you can tell sort of where it's left or right, and that's good enough. But with these, it's literally like, oh fuck, they're behind me. Like, and you know to do like a full flick of the wrist. Like
you know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
That's insane. Just a thought. I brought a set of... I dug up. I didn't even know I had them. A set of brand new, never opened Beolab 6000 wall brackets. If anybody wants them, email me, because I'm gonna shoot them up on eBay pretty quick.
If I think we said this on Monday. If anybody in the UK is still looking for new in-box Beolab 9s, BV9, 8002, BeoSound 9000, all new in box, contact John. Because he knows a guy that bought a bunch of stuff back from a hotel project that apparently never came to be. And this hotel was going to be super duper 5-6 star, top of the line. Every room was going to have B&O in it, and they never built it. And it just sat in a warehouse somewhere, unopened, new in box.
For fucking years.
Yeah. So there's still brand new BeoSound 9000s out there for sale. So contact...
Why didn't they sell that? Well, that project must have been at least 15 years ago. If you're talking BB9s. So why didn't they sell that like 2 years into it? Like they know, oh shit, we're not going to be able to build this. Fucking let's sell all this stuff out.
Maybe they went bankrupt or something, and then it goes to the debtors, and the debtors don't know what they sit on. Or, creditors.
I guess.
I don't know. This is not the first time, though. There's a local second-hand refurbishment B&O place not far from me. I think last year somewhere they found Penta Mark III's new sealed in box as well.
I saw the post somewhere on, I think it was YouTube's or somewhere, that somebody did come across and like, holy fuck, like Penta's brand new mint in box condition, like that's a unicorn at this point.
Yeah, never played. I mean, but even if you are out for parts, like a brand new BeoSound 9000, that means brand new laser, brand new mech, brand new everything.
Yeah, the only thing you'd have to work on, or just keep it on random for a while to get the pulley worked in, because it's obviously been stretched for 15 years in one position only, that whole rubber mech. So you'd have to run it for a bit. You'd hear like wood, 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 wood. But that would go away pretty quickly. Yeah, that's a good find. I would totally go for it, but I just have no use. No use. And also it's 220, I'm certain of it, because it's a European find. So
I'm not entirely sure, but John knows a guy that but also 8002s and Beolab 9s new sealed in box, and there's more than one pair.
Yeah.
So if you're into that sort of thing, give John a ring or an email. Beano Manchester. I mean, it's I'm not into these things, but other people are, and more power to you.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of a tech of the yesteryears for me as well, as I look at my Lab 5s.
Yeah.
Playing in the background.
But 8000s still are sort of timeless, and
they are. They definitely are. You know what's interesting? I had a Beolab 11 here for a while, more or less testing it because it did have an issue with the amplifier, but it took about an hour for it to show itself, right, till you get the and wind in the speaker. And I plugged them in with the Lab 1s. The fuck, man, there is a difference in, like, the bass is much richer, even though with that little leg. It actually made the difference. I was shocked. I didn't think it would sway even close. But it did round up the bottom very nicely on the sound profile. So I wouldn't do one per speaker because that's kind of crazy. But I was surprised. I was actually pleasantly surprised that it did pick him up a little bit off on the deep end.
Yeah, 1s are still bloody great. So are 5s.
What's this that we're looking at?
This is that in my video. People can watch it later. The Dolby thing that you get. Like, you can literally in the headphones follow where the bloody sound goes. It's unreal.
That's cool.
I mean, you can also turn the Dolby on and off, or use different headphones, and then it doesn't sort of do the audio magic. But it's kind of, because you then sort of go from, it's sort of there, sort of there. But with the whole Dolby thing, you can literally sort of gauge how far stuff is even.
I wonder what the effect of that would be on, like, the 90s and stuff.
Yeah,
like, would the sound processing that those things have kind of not negate, but because the 90s and 50s, like, they image insanely already, right? That's what this is harvesting basically from multitude of speakers to give you that experience. Where the 90s themselves can basically bring the soundstage to you about a meter away from you.
Yeah, who was asking? I think it was Michael Freeland. Is there an Atmos upgrade to Eclipse or Harmony coming? We've been over this a few times, I think, already. But the Dolby Atmos is an upscaler within a sound codec. So is True Image. And if you already catch the similarities of the words, that's where partially the problem is. Dolby Atmos is currently Dolby's flagship, so they're very sort of tight about the license and what you can do with their flagship, because wouldn't anybody really with their flagship, like, you're not just going to give that away to everybody to mangle and make useless. Yeah. I mean, there's also a massive difference between Dolby Atmos for soundbars versus Dolby Atmos for, like, full-on receivers. There is actually a difference in it. That's why the stage has Dolby Atmos, because the the requirements that you're meant to meet for a soundbar are a lot easier than for a full-on receiver, which a BeoVision, Eclipse, or a Harmony is. You then get into the problem of they're both upscalers. How do you run two upscalers at the same time without interfering? You kind of can't, really. Or you have to have a dynamic chip where you can switch on the fly, which is also probably not the easiest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into the other issues then you need probably two sets of data for distance and all that, and speaker profiles. Because the true image is preloaded with all the B&O stuff and how speakers react and latencies and
bass diversion and all that nonsense. The sound profile is pre-programmed in the menu.
And then how do you copy pasta that to another upscaler? Because you can technically have Dolby Atmos with one speaker already, because the Atmos is just relative distance in 3D space data.
Mm-hmm.
Which was it 20 podcasts ago? Henrik went like on a half an hour rant how to explain it, because I think he's certified in all the Dolby stuff for his TV job.
Yeah.
So what that means is that every speaker knows its relation to one another within distance. So let's say the 50 is there, my 17 is there, and something plays right here. The upscaler knows how much to play that and that speaker to make it appear like it's here.
Yeah. It's triangulating the position of the sound, basically.
Yes, and that's
to an extent
a sort of correlation, and it's quite a hard thing to do when you have two upscalers. Like B&O's True Image is already kind of fucking space age in what it does, because somehow it guesses perfectly. This is something I forgot to bring up last week, but as a testament to the True Image, there are two commercials here which are fucking annoying. And I'll tell you exactly why. The problem with these commercials, it's a problem for me, specifically here. Both these commercials are in Dolby Digital 5.1. This gets played through the Harmony with the True Image.
Mm-hmm.
Both these commercials have a fucking doorbell in it. And that doorbell sounds exactly like my doorbell.
Right on.
And every time this thing plays, the True Image knows to mostly let it ring on the high channels. I don't know how it does it, but every time it's like, I hear my fucking doorbell going. And every time it's like...
That's so funny.
Fuck, no, it's the TV. And I honestly cannot fathom how the TV knows to play it like that.
Where to push it.
Yes, because if it was low, right, I would know that it's not from the doorbell. But it sounds like it's coming from the fucking doorbell, because that's also up high.
That's so funny. Yeah, for me it was with the 90s when I would just always check the fucking center channel's on. No, it's off. That's just insane. Right? But
I mean, that goes for the 50s too. That's there.
Of course. But
it's
it's a mind game.
But this is, again, more a testament to the True Image spatial audio from stuff that isn't there in the data. Right. Because, like I said, this is filmed and recorded in 5.1, meaning it should, if it's a normal receiver, it would play on my 50s, the TV, and the back channels. The rest wouldn't do anything. Like the 3s and 17s would be passive. But the True Image somehow manages to calculate how to do all that, and not only that, guess specific audio cues which are meant to be high versus low.
I'd love to ask Jeff Martin, how the fuck did you start with that? Like, what was your starting point? Because he basically said he locked himself in a room with 18 Beolab 3s and started playing, right?
Yeah.
And like, how do you build that algorithm? Like that because it's all based on math. I'm certain of it at some point, right? Because it's all zeros and ones to begin with anyhow. How does it know where to put things in space and time? That's, to me, it's just mind-blowing how awesome the True Image engine does it. And I think that they do it better than the Atmos did back in the yesteryears, even when it first came out. Like, when you have it properly set up, I think it's better than the Atmos is, man. And I've heard it in their like the, what was it, that freaking bubble thing that they had in Denmark that they were taking out to the Vegas show, right? The CS. And yeah, you go in there, it was just like something with the senses, I guess. And you go in and it's just this, like, the room is completely fucking black with the BB11 on the 46 on the wall, and then it starts playing this little video, and it's all B&O speakers. It's powered off the TV. Thanks, Don. And it just goes all over the thing, man. It is unbelievable. So, yeah, I think still Biosystem 4 is a great platform for sound, which I guess is now into the DSSC boards. So
yeah, but I mean, I've been thinking about it, especially because I have it. The partially why I'm so annoyed by these two commercials is that they come on so often, and every fucking time it sounds like somebody's at my door.
You know what? That actually isn't as bad as we had a 660 News radio station, which I listened to quite a bit for traffic. And now they changed it to like just play 660 News, right? But it gives you like the sound of like when the Google understands, right? Where before that they would actually fucking say that. So I'm playing on the 90s, whatever, like the whole thing is playing. And that tells the fucking Google Assistant to start playing the same radio station. I'm like, you guys are assholes, man. And they stopped it. A lot of people must have complained because I hated that. Like, that's my pet peeve with the commercials when they address your fucking assistant. Yeah. Don't talk to my shit, dude. Seriously.
They do it on purpose.
Yeah, I know they do it on purpose.
But it sort of got me thinking, like, the Dolby Atmos is amazing and is probably slightly edging the True Image. But I think us Bio nuts are underappreciative of what True Image has done for us all these years, because Atmos is probably slightly better, but because True Image knows exactly what our speakers are, what they do, how they respond to frequency, you can tell them exactly where they are in space and time and all that. I think it's almost on par, honestly.
I personally think that the True Image does a better job, especially upmixing music into multitude of channels versus with the Dolby Atmos. That you can't compete with that. There's no freaking way.
Most receivers, if you put in a 2.0 source and you have 6 speakers attached, will play 2 speakers. The True Image doesn't care and plays a lot over all speakers.
Depending on your speaker group preset chosen for the default to set into.
And also how you've set it up, and it somehow spatially makes sense.
It's insane what they do. But
I mean, I also know of no other receiver, BioVision, that can on the fly reallocate channels. Like, it doesn't matter where you plug the cables in, you can just literally through software allocate what they are. Like, if you look at any Marantz or Denon or whatever, it's
left
channels,
is left, right is right.
And it's channel specific. This is rear, front, center, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, you can't just clink, clink, clink. Okay, that's my front right. Oh, that's my front left, and they're completely different power links.
Yeah.
Like, it mattered a little bit on the BioCenter 3, where it had a dedicated, more or less, quote-unquote, dedicated center and dedicated sub. But the difference was that you can split the sub and subwoofer thing the same way that you would in any other power link socket, because you could do left and right. But yeah. And I also agree with what Sandeep saying that if they did, let's say, a stage 2, I honestly don't think it would cannibalize the sales, but it would definitely affect it tremendously. As far as sales of the Harmony and the Eclipse. I think Eclipse would have a very hard time being sold if you had a stage with the full True Image engine built into it, and let's say 3 PowerLink sockets out.
Speaking of marketing, let's say, in this specific context, right? If you were to go for a Stage Mark II or BeoSound Center Stage or whatever the fuck you want to call it, if that were a case, if B&O does the way it does with BeoVisions, it would lose the Atmos. In terms of marketing, can you market that? Like you have the Mark 1 with Atmos, and now you can connect speakers and you lose Atmos. That would be a hard sell. And Per,
It's a very valid point, because you can't just call the other one True Image, because people go, what the fuck is a True Image? Is it better than Atmos? Well, yeah, stupid, because you have fucking actual physical speakers connected now. But I think that the gimmick of it, right? Because a lot of people looking for the Atmos more or less as a gimmick of it, because that's a fucking
label. A lot of people
label.
look for the bloody sticker on the box.
It's got Atmos. That's good. It's good right there because it's got Atmos. But I think that, yeah, I think the sticker argument would be a very big argument and a very good point. And yeah. I don't have the answer for it. I think that would be, I think personally that actually might have raised as a question or a topic in one of those useless meetings that they carried out. And they probably talked about it, the fact that, oh fuck, if we do that, then how do you even call it? Because yes, the other one is, I do not understand how the fuck do they have stage licensed as the Atmos?
Because it's soundbar stage. Like I said earlier, that license is a lot easier to get. Also, because it's Atmos, they can predetermine the roles of the speakers. Like, you cannot make the center speaker left, right, or otherwise.
No.
Like, you plug it in, and that's it. Like, the left speaker's left,
it's done,
the center speaker's center, the right is right. Yeah. Like, there is no control other than what type of sound you want. You want TV, movie, music.
Yeah. You can tell. You
have a few presets, but no other control. I think what you're gonna run into, if B&O wants it to do it the B&O way, which with True Image, you're gonna run into like the marketing part, like in a pair. If you can imagine buying a Stage Mark II, whatever you want to call it, without Atmos, would you still do it? Because you're the one seeming to be asking for one. Personally, I think they should make more affordable TVs. And I do see the sort of the sort of idea of like the sales would offset the TV loss in revenue for TVs. But I've said this before. I think if there is a True Image and or PowerLink connector panel on a stage, the stage has to be redesigned quite heavily. It'll need most likely the True Image if you wanted it to know B&O speakers, unless you want it to be generic speakers.
Do you think it would have to get larger to accommodate more electronics in it?
Yes, you need another, or at least a bigger power supply, because you're going to have an extra like 100 watt capable chip in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You need more cooling, and just the amount of electronics and PCB boards for, let's say, 2 or 3 PowerLink connectors. Because I doubt half the people are going to be happy if it has like left, right, rear and a sub out.
No, you can't do that. You gotta get at least 3 or 4 outlets for PL.
Yeah.
So, like, to hook up 8 speakers to it, right? To make it, again, Atmos-like.
That's what I mean. And then you're going to have the full DSSE board, and the DSSE board as a replacement cost is like, this is a non-profit part, is like €900. So you're going to have a stage that is going to be at least €900 more, at least.
Personally, I think that's fucking insane. I think what they should do is do something on a make something like a BeoSound core, maybe bigger, a little sexier per se, that has DSSC engine inside and the ARC, so just strips the fucking signal out of the TV. So you have a choice to actually have a B&O sound and B&O speakers for projectors, like, you know, because people are still buying them. I still have issues with this, like, and then you could actually have you know, you could buy a third-party panel and so on and so forth, and have that being controlled and have B&O sound. But I think that I don't think this would be a thing that they would shoot themselves in the foot with if they did, let's say, a Biosystem 5, let's just call it chronologically as it is, hypothetically speaking. I think that the Biosystem 5 would be a much better marketing solution than going to a Stage 2.0 with now denoting the Dolby Atmos and replacing it with the True Image labels and so on and so forth. I don't think that would work.
Like a generic System 5 I would like, because a lot of the old System 3 and 4 with the video engine you don't need anymore. You just need something to strip out the audio from your sources.
Dude, you know how many people are stuck in their times because they have a Biosystem 3 and they just can't move forward because the whole thing is the way it is?
Yeah, you're friends with the 90s, right? And the enormous projector screen.
And it's a fuck, man. Like, it's a Control 4 with the gateway and a Biosystem 3, and it's just like so many different things to try to control it. Which I think that if they had something that just strips the ARC and just strips the sound out of the HDMI signal and does it and then pushes it into up to 18 or 21. Let's just go with 18 speakers, right? And like, you're fucking golden, man. Do 5 PowerLink outputs like on the old TV and do extra 5 channels or 10 channels on a WISA and you're set.
2 interesting points. Sandeep says, isn't the future upgrade for the stage making it more Mozart-like so that the levels or stuff like that can be used as surrounds? I could see that, but that's only wireless at that point then. Which in my case is almost a no-go. I guess you could do it over Wi-Fi, not over WISA, because if it's WISA based, then that's a no-go for me. I'm gonna have dropouts. Like, I can't run that here. Mm-hmm. Like, weirdly, from the Harmony to the 17 already is dropouts because of all the people around me with the bloody crappy Chinese Wi-Fi routers, and everybody has 5 gigahertz on the similar channels, and I
finally convinced one of my clients, the one we were talking about earlier in the projects was the BeoSound 5 with the Lab 5 beside it.
Yeah.
They had obviously haven't addressed network since 2011 when the house was being finished. So they come in and they have antiquated routers and fucking D-Link that I don't even remember that they used to make them in that color.
Off beige.
Oh god, no, it's dark gray D-Links. Like, I'm right.
Okay.
It's been a fucking while since I've seen those, and they were trying to go through a company that I won't name here, but they've quoted them $8,000 for network infrastructure.
Bloody hell!
And
what are you?
I went with Ubiquity. And I had the guy like, listen, man, straight up, like, I'm not interested in making money on the product because it's you can buy this on Amazon. I'll just spec you out and you just pay me to set this up and install it and set it all up. And it was $2,500 altogether with 5 hours of my time.
Yeah. The other point, Woodcassette on Twitch says, B&O has needed to make a dedicated center channel for the past 15 years. I encountered a ton of clients that didn't want to spend 10 to 15k on a TV. The 10 to 15k on a TV I totally get, but the center channel is useless without a biosystem of some kind that can cope with current formats.
I guess that's partially what would be off. Like, his question more or less is answered by the BeoSound stage for people that just want something that, it's just the sound bar.
Yeah.
Where we used to do the Mickey Mouse jobs and shit, where you try to the Boss Comms Masterlink fucking emulators, and then you try to put a BeoSound or a BeoLab 3500 under the TV, and hopefully you can run the fuck out of the house before it fails, and it's just. it's not the way to do it. And like even like the BeoLab or BeoSound 35, yes, you could use it as a center channel, and Brian could tell you all about that. But I think the problem that he would have at that point, you lose the network link, because you have to turn off or disable the network link, because otherwise you get a fucking 100 or 250 millisecond delay, which at that point the TV is unwatchable unless you're watching golf and shit where you can't see the guys talk. So, well, yeah, and, fuck, right? And it's just like so that's why, yeah, and I think that they definitely need a BeoSystem 5. They need something that can rob the ARC. And then the problem becomes like, would it be a source controllable thing too? Or do you just plug everything into the a display or a projector and then just pull the ARC out for the signal processing as far as the sound is concerned?
If you want to make it easy, plug it into the TV. But then you kind of lose puck. So do we care about puck?
Well, you can't have puck tables anymore anyhow. So, and at the end of the day, like, let's face the fact of the modern world. What are people actually consuming their information on at this point? It's a platform either which is Roku, Chromecast, or an Apple TV.
And internal
apps. And then you have your apps and all this shit and streaming, airplaying, pushing stuff that way. And then for all the ones that are still, crazy enough to pay for fucking cable TV, then you have an actual cable box, which at this point I would have your temperature checked and shit, because I don't know why. But the puck tables eventually will go away because everything will be through the HDMI protocol, and if it's already arced, the only problem you would have.
CEC works great out of the box with most bigger company things.
Yeah. Plus, also, you get away from the lag. Like, I go to, like, BeoSystem 3 homes now that, you try to navigate the Apple TV and just go poop, 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 poop. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, holy cow, that is so slow comparatively to mine. But it also is, like, on older Apple TVs, it's really, really noticeable that this isn't fun.
I mean, one thing, though, that I guess especially the Harmony kind of solves is... people can still view it this way, obviously, but you're spending 10 to 15k on a TV, let's say, but most of that is for a receiver, a B&O receiver and center channel. Mm-hmm. Because with the Harmony, at least, the TV part of it is replaceable, and that will far outlast the speaker bit will far outlast the screen. And already we're at the point with the Harmony that you can use the C9, the CX, and the C1. They all work. I mean, granted, you can't have your choice of Sony or Panasonic or whatever, but there's limitations to everything.
Yeah.
So, in terms of buying a Harmony is no longer something like buying an Avant. Like, you're stuck until the panels basically can't be repaired anymore. Mm-hmm. With the Harmony, so far, every year you've been able to update the screen if you so desired.
Yes.
Which is quite a step up. I don't think B&O market that pretty well, because then it would somehow diminish the look of BeoVision, but I personally don't care. I kind of like that. I see it as a pro.
Like, well, if you're a nerd that you just like always strive for the latest panel quality, then yeah, you can just keep swapping them out and it's fun. But I just like the fact of security that, in 5-10 years per se, because I'm a long-term B&O user. When it comes to the product that I like, I fucking stick with it till it absolutely is impossible to service, fix, and then it sits in my storage for another 5 years before I fucking decide to throw it out.
I mean, same actually with the new Eclipse, the Mark II Eclipse. That came out with a GX panel, and the G1 panel also works.
Yeah, you can swap them out. But for me, I'm stuck in the Avant, and if the Avant goes, the only thing that I see going at it or on it is the power supply or the amplifier board, because I have the fans installed in the video board, which is constantly being cooled. And the Samsung displays are outstanding. Like the LCD panels that were inside those things, they rarely ever fail. It's the video board that be fucked up on cooling.
Yeah. No, I think the dedicated center channel and/or system 5, whatever you want to call it, is. It seemed like, especially in the last 10 to 15 years, there was a good 10 years of that where B&O had no fucking clue what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
A la BeoVision 14 Avant Mark II.
Those were the dark ages.
And
Horizon.
The Eclipse Mark 1 was really a step out into the dark of, like, will this LG thing sort of work? Because if they were clever enough, back then they wouldn't have spec'd a custom panel. And there wouldn't have been a need for a Mark II Eclipse. But they were still sort of set in their own ways, like we know best. And I mean, they're finally getting there.
The other.
I think they finally admitted, basically, that others do TV, the picture anyway, better than what B&O could ever do.
I think that they've realized the point where the technology has basically starting to surpass what their budget would allow to develop for a TV. Like if you think about it, back in the BeoVision 5, BeoVision 7 days, like the display technology wasn't really that revolutionized for a while, right? Like, through the YPBPR to an early era of HDMI cables and connectivity.
And
like
HD
that was really
ready
not
was
that much.
the norm for like 5 years.
The BeoVision 7 went through fucking so many iterations, and like the 55 went through 5 generations, and the first gen was cold cathode fluorescent tubing backlighting. Then it went to LEDs, and then it went to direct backlit panels with local dimming, which had those 512 locally dimmable sectors, and like that. To this day, that TV looks fucking balls, man. And quite honestly, for your regular dog shit news and streaming, not streaming, but watching cable TV, that picture looks outstanding. But then again, the amount of time and the platform that they harvested from, and like back in the day, the ambient light control sensing was absolutely unheard of on other manufacturers. Like Samsung was the first one that started to quote unquote adopting it when B&O started having them making the panels, and then they go, well, fuck man, look at this. You can actually adjust and cater to the room conditions, right? Where first it was just with the brightness, and then they started to actually do the chroma and everything else, where like the BB11s, was it BB12? No. The Avant was the only one that did the chroma adjustment as well for ambient colors.
Wait, didn't the 14 do that as well?
BB14, no, because that was BB11, same thing. I don't think that they did that. It was just a 4K panel. It may have, but I don't remember, so I'm not going to comment on it. But I know for a fact that...
I mean, the worst part of that TV and the Mark II Avant was global dimming. Not local dimming, global dimming.
Yeah, so they fucking cheaped out on the display.
Averagely dark, everything went dark.
Yeah, it was not the best, and
no shit.
No, those TVs, I feel bad for people that fell for them. Quite honestly,
I nearly bought one. Like, I was that close to buying one.
We would have been on episode 250 by now. Then, fuck.
Probably. But I was looking at the aluminium and the oak cover, and it was like, oh, that's so gorgeous.
That's how they got you, by those balls, man. And then you take it home and like, this TV sucks. It sucks so bad.
Yeah, but that isn't actually all that long ago when the whole TV thing was utter garbage. I mean, that was, what, 2015? 16
yeah, that
even?
was the...
Because the Avant came out in 2017, didn't it?
The Avant first edition came out in 2014.
Yeah, but the Mark II, I mean, that was...
And the Mark II came out in 2016, because I was in Denmark in 2015.
Oh yeah, then it was the Eclipse that came out 2017.
And they were dabbling with those fucking Bluetooth antennae that looked like the old school MCL link eyes. Oh, But yeah, that was a mistake. The only thing that TV had going for it was that goddamn wooden grill, which they should have just kept on producing. But then again, that it would look weird. It would look weird on an Eclipse. It would just look fucked up.
Yeah, the Eclipse was a sort
The
of
Eclipse should never have had a wooden grill thing, because it just looks.
I mean,
I've seen it.
Don't get me wrong, I like the Eclipse, but as soon as you sort of see a Beolab 7.6 in front of a BeoVision 11 in it, you sort of go, because that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, it's a big 7.6 in front of a black square panel, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it, but I like the harmony a lot more. And again, this is probably B&O marketing. If you're new to B&O, if you're thinking, bloody hell, the harmony is expensive, again, they don't kind of ever tell you or show you that if you buy a harmony, and funds allow only for a 65 now, you can upgrade it to 88-inch in the future.
Mm-hmm. Buy new panels and a new screen.
Yeah, and you the bulk of your cost is saved. Well, maybe not for the 88, but for every other panel size. I mean, and by the time maybe you want an 88, because they sell for, let's say in 3 years, the new LG G6 or whatever the fuck, 88-inch, the starting price is, let's say, $8,000. It'll fit on there, no problem. And you don't have to spend the $10,000 on the receiver part anymore.
Yeah.
Which is
that sucks that they have the goofy covers, because I'm looking at the Harmony right now on their website, and it's just that stupid brass tone goldish crap on the for the wood, for the walnuts. It sucks.
Come in, Vino.
But
website is slow. Internal server error. Yay.
Right on.
Are we all are we all hitting the website at the same time or something?
I just closed my window, dude. I'm not in there. I opened up a slot for you, so try it out again.
Oh, I can't get to TVs at all. That's why my cat is mewing. I don't know if you can hear. It's like, you can't see TVs.
It's so, I don't know. I still like the Harmony the most out of all the TVs so far they made.
I mean, it's the most versatile. It's amazing how small 77 inches is like that when it's down.
Yeah.
I prefer I mapped it out. I also at one point thought I'm going to go the alternative route with a Marantz or whatever, and fuck it, I'll make it work. And even if it's 40% less expensive, it's still worth it, because then it's very expensive for Marantz or whatever. Mm-hmm. But everything will have its trigger, yada, 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 it'll work. And it's but then I'm looking at this massive black sheet all the time. Where do I put all this other crap?
Yeah.
I'm going to have 2 remotes again.
If not 3.
Yeah, which is going to suck. The usefulness of having one remote is underrated, I feel.
Very much so. People don't, It's funny, because, I can't fathom fucking around with a multitude of remotes in my house. I cannot even fathom. I've lived with B&O for so long that I can't fathom. And I go to the people's homes and I look like a fucking ape staring at a freshly painted gate, because I'm I don't even know which one to grab. The buttons are all over the fucking map, because I'm used to the BO4. I can do that with a gun to my head at 3 a.m. Be a remote one, I would probably fuck up a menu or two, because it's all not tactile. But I would be still better off than grabbing some Logitech Harmony and trying to finger it out.
This seems to be specific whenever I'm in America with friends and whatnot. They always have a drawer with remotes, and it's What the fuck do these all do? Like, what am I meant to do with this?
They control everything. Yeah, I have a few clients that have a drawer. Every of my clients have a fucking drawer with remote.
Yeah, it's.
But none of them have batteries in them because, like, it's still just, you know, I'll just put it here in case I fucking need to get into this or whatever for whatever reason. But never is.
Yeah, I mean, I even helped out my sister, like with the I showed that last week with the 12s and whatnot. She also had 2 remotes because she was actually using the bloody cable box. And most RTVs have the pin ATM card insert with the decoder, and she didn't know that. So I showed her, like, you can get this box away. You lose the recording shit, but you don't really care because you mostly record stuff through Netflix anyway. So take that card out, yank it in there, and you can have 1 remote. And it was like, oh, that's better. Because now we don't have 2 volumes, like the cable box volume and then the relative to the TV volume. And
yeah. So Brandon says on Twitch, the 1 remote was a big reason why I went to B&O 20 years ago.
Yeah. Rightfully so. Plus, it's also a kick-ass remote in terms of, like, you don't have to point.
No, not generally, you don't.
Like,
I've had few instances where the combination of old plasma screens and the amount of light seeping into the house or into the room, you did have to somewhat point it. But as soon as it got darker at night, it was fuck, dude. Like, these shit, man, you can beat people to death with those remotes. Like, that's such a robust tank of a remote still.
Yeah, so this
I remember when the freaking Beo Remote 1 came out and I held it and like, this is so flimsy.
The remote with the NAD M33.
That's awesome looking.
It has way too many buttons. I like that it's backlit for when it's dark, but it's kind of the wrong color. I don't like the blue.
I don't care for the color as long as you can see what the fuck to mash on, because that's like a freaking Texas Instruments calculator, for fuck's sakes.
I mean, at least they have space in between the buttons, so you can clearly feel where a button stops and starts.
But they got like channels, volume, the joystick key thing with like whatever buttons on the side. And then, yeah, that's too much. It's probably to control the sound and shit in it.
Yeah.
Or the presets, I guess. I don't know. I'm so out of the element with this, like, what I call third-party stuff that I don't...
So, yeah, that stuff looks instantly cheap compared to something like this.
Of course it does.
I mean, if you have it and like it, I don't care. Enjoy it. I'm not trying to bash any of it. But...
I just don't like the plasticky feel of the generic remotes. Like, you pick up a Beo Remote 1 or the Beo 4, like, you know you're holding something nice.
Yeah. And,
yeah. It's no bullshit remote.
I mean, it's still nicer than most of the other stuff, the NAD remote, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, there's... To me... not many remotes worse than the standard LG remotes that are like all plastic, and that if you do like that in your hand, you hear the creaking of the plastic.
I was just gonna say, the fucking ones that creak are just like, what? Channel up. No.
Yeah. I mean, I would like what Brendan says over on Twitch. The next B&O project should be a backlit, be a remote 1. Add $50 to $100 for the price, I'd buy it. Second it.
I would buy it. I would buy it even for $150 more. I can fucking see the buttons, dude.
I would love to see these buttons in low light, because in low light now, it's literally every time it's like...
I know, you're trying to find the reflection of a shit, like whatever lamp or something you got in there to get the glare of where you're at. You know what, guys, talk to Casio. If they can fucking backlight this monstrosity for 2 years and Bluetooth connected into my phone, 4 times a day to upload my steps and crap, then can't believe that you wouldn't be able to make a remote control that just as soon as you pick it up, lights itself up based on the lighting conditions. Just like old BO6 used to be with the backlight control. And only in the dark would the keypad light up. Screen obviously comes on all the time, but the keypad would only light up when it was dim enough.
I'm almost tempted to get one of these custom made and have the volume up and down be in the diamond and channel down, channel up on the side of the diamond, more like what the BO4 was.
That's fucking nuts. And how are you going to navigate?
I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. I've been staring at this button pattern, but at least the diamond you can find in the dark.
Get a Google Assistant. Up, up, left. Okay.
Oh, then you get your phone out because you have the mouse pad and things on your phone in the app.
Oh my goodness. No, I would recommend not doing that.
No, I know.
I would rather have it backlit, man. If they could backlight this back in the yesteryears, like the cinema remote, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think many people even ask for it. It just was looking cool. Then I think that you guys can and are able to backlight the bloody Bio Remote 1.
I mean, because you could technically switch these around with that. So you could technically make the navigation somewhere in here.
I'm good with the button layout if it's backlit, because then you can look at it. You won't press the wrong key then.
I agree. I'm saying if B&O doesn't bloody do this, because at night the only thing I can with 100% certainty find is the star pattern.
Button.
Yeah, and the star pattern.
Yeah.
Like you know exactly where you are. But sometimes I literally have to go like, okay, we're top. That means info 0.
What, does it not even take the radiation poisoning if the remote had the World War I watch loom? Fucking tritium buttons and shit. All of a sudden you have freaking knuckles like tangerines. But yeah,
that's how you become Spider-Man.
That's right. I would still go for the remote. I think that it's just such an simple yet very important part of the remote control. And those cheap shit that they make, like all these manufacturers, like, okay, so what? Even if the lifespan of the Bio Remote 1 with backlighting full time, you know, like as soon as you pick it up type of thing, based on the gyro sensor, even if that was a 6 months or at the most a year, let's say, of use case, I still think it's worth the money.
Yeah.
Because if you bought a $600 remote, dude, you can go to Costco and buy a fucking 24-pack of AA's for $15, $20, and you're set for more or less at least few years. You're probably set for longer than the battery expiry date is on the whole package.
Yeah, make this shit be, I would buy 2 of you.
I would replace all of my remotes with backlit remotes if I could get that.
I mean, this old BO4, it doesn't have to be fucking bright. It just has to be a little visible.
Well, I don't think this is that bright. This is probably a try-harding the picture for sure.
Yeah.
But I would definitely consider. Not consider. I would, if they came out with it, I am on the fucking phone Tuesday morning when B&O Vancouver opens, and I'm buying 2 of them in silk.
Yeah, the silk is nice. It's sweet.
Yeah, I need to get me a silk because I have 2 remotes. Well, I don't. I need 2 remotes type of thing, I think.
Eric would buy 12, yes. I can promise you that being now. You already sold like 20 of them.
I think a lot. I'm sure Sandeep would be in for one at least. Brian would buy one. Everybody would buy one because like you fucking want to see what you're doing. So there was 2 options of it with the backlit LCD and non-backlit LCD. I didn't know that.
I think so, yeah.
That's cool.
But
yeah.
Like I said, at least on the BO4, you could actually bloody find where the keys were.
You didn't have to have it backlit. The Bio Remote 1 needs the backlighting.
I mean, I haven't touched mine other than dusting in like a month maybe of my BO4, and I can still control it eyes shut. I know where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't used one as a main remote for, 2017 now. Like, that's how ingrained it is. And that's how easy it was with the spacing in between the buttons and that sort of thing. I like that it's all slender and tiny and whatnot, but it doesn't make it better to use, really. I mean, it makes it lighter, but then again, that thing was a bloody brick.
I'm with Wood Cassette and everybody else. Like, who cares how often you need to change the batteries? Like I said, buy a fucking pack of 24 AA's in Costco for $15, $20, and you're set, man. And it's not as big of a bitch as getting into these sometimes when you don't have the nails and try to pull this off, and it's just a son of a bastard. Like the Beo Remote 1. However, I did have one of my clients that jammed the fucking battery box in there wrong and bent the contacts the shit out of them. So I have to, I do have, because I'm a nerd, I do have a battery pack replacement for the Beo Remote 1, so I have to go up there and switch it one day. Once the batteries that are in there right now die, because I pushed them in with fucking sharpened toothpick matching just to get the thing closed, because I'm not coming back up here. We're gonna make this work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that the Beo Remote, it's been around for a while. I think that it should get a facelift. Not even a facelift. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the button layout. I think that the layout now is better than it was on the Gen 1, with the list being all the way in the top corner for no goddamn reason in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that they should backlight the damn buttons. I don't think generic enthusiasts less buttons. I don't think you can get away with less buttons on that remote, quite honestly. Like, you have a bare ass minimum. Like, the first row of 6, you get the My buttons and the main sources, which are now basically list sources, versus the BO4, where you have a dedicated TV, DVD, or AMEM, or VMEM, or whatever buttons, where now you can have, if you have HDMI matrix, you can have up to 24 sources under a TV button and just scroll through them.
We can get rid of the guide and info buttons, pretty sure.
I do use info button quite a bit.
For what?
When I listen to music and I press info, so the screen turns on and I can see who it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do use the info button quite a bit. I wouldn't get rid of the info button. The guide, I guess.
Doesn't info come up on the Avant if you just press up on the diamond?
No, not if you have the display set to never turn on like I have. Because I don't care for it to turn on and tell me what it's playing, but it's just radio. But oh shit, what's that song, right? So you just press info and it shows. So that's that info I wouldn't get rid of. Guide I wouldn't get rid of, because people do watch obviously regular television. And then the rest of the buttons is just your functions, which are the joystick, the diamond,
mm-hmm.
The colored buttons, and then below that you have forward, reverse, play, pause, and P+, P-, and standby, and volume up and down. There's no fucking way to reduce anything out of it.
No.
Unless
we ditch numbers altogether.
Just fuck it.
Give me 10 My buttons.
No, I wouldn't ditch the number pad, dude, because I do switch between the stations on the tune-in all the time.
Yeah, me too. I was just joking.
That wouldn't work. Yeah, the only thing they need to do really is just to backlight the bloody thing, and then it would be, and I think they would sell quite a bit more of them. But
yeah, I would backlit or redesign it altogether. Like I keep on saying it, I wouldn't mind if the bloody bend was out of it. I don't mind it an awful lot, but it's annoying when it's not exactly flat on the table that it does that.
It jiggles, yeah.
And yeah. I don't know.
I think the problem, as a designer, the reason why I would put the bend in it, you reduce the point of contacts to 4 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you're not really scratching the fuck out of the entire back, but you're just wearing out the content points by the battery pack and also those two little Sharpie tips at the very top. Which
yeah, but it's also
the
sort of
detriment
meant
also
to
is
like lay flatter in your hand if you hold it like that, than more like that, I guess.
I wonder honestly, like if you had an option to like just hold one that is unbent, if you did like it, because you never had an option, right? Like you're thinking that it would feel like the fucking BO4. But I think that there's a logical reason for why the bend is
I'm
there.
sure there is. It's partially designed though, but
I think it's more or less ergonomics and fact that you don't scratch the shit out of the whole back of it. Because this one, who cares? This was the skate on the back of this is plastic, so that never would scratch or change color. But even if you look, the third ribbon or rib and also the third rib from the bottom are slightly raised against, so they only chafe points are on those two.
But
so they still considered some of it.
The more pointed downwards ergonomic thing is useless anyway, because it's not backlit, so you end up doing that anyway.
Yes.
You end up looking at it anyway, so maybe it's just us being weird, I don't know.
I think that the reason why we're bitching about it because that is the only remote that we actually interface with. Like, you can't really fucking say anything about that if you had a Moran system and 16 different remotes in the thing, because every single one of them feels different, and you're fucked anyways. Because, like, okay, oh, that's my amp remote. Okay, so I can turn the volume down from here, and then let's just grab another one from the drawer to change my channels on my cable box. Oh, I'm going to watch an Apple TV, so I gotta grab the whatever remote to change the source on the amplifier or receiver, and then grab a fucking Apple TV remote. I would not deal with that in my entire life at all ever again. I never do anyways, but yeah, once you get spoiled by B&O, it's really hard to go back to whatever else that was around before that. So
yeah. Would cassette, if you still know people that are apprehensive about a lot of money for a TV, like, seriously, have a chat about a Harmony. Because the most B&O part of it you keep in perpetuity, basically. And you can interchange sizes from 65 to 88, which is quite amazing, really.
88 would be insane.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice that the whole actual structure and backbone can just carry it, and it's no issue.
Yeah.
I mean, 65 to 88 is a massive weight difference.
Oh, God.
I mean,
20 kilos at least?
I think it's 20 kilos already from 65 to 77.
Oh, wow.
Because my 77-inch panel is 42 kilos.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite heavy.
Holy shit. See you, Don.
Bye, Don. Have a good one.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Thank you.
Shiitake mushrooms. I didn't think it was that.
Yeah, because
that
the
heavy.
base is like 80 odd kilos, and the total TV for me is like 120 kilos.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, it's not fun. It's you can move it by yourself, the base, but I wouldn't advise it.
I wouldn't fuck around. I would do it, but I would have the skates, and that's if I'm gonna ever end up with this TV, I'm buying the skates with it too.
Yeah,
I like to have that option to move things if I need to move them.
I mean, if nothing else, it's the wings that make it hard to move because they're on cams and bent. Is it aluminium or steel, whatever, to make that motion go? Mm-hmm. And if you it obviously tips forward if you pick it up straight. So the first thing you do is to not tip it too far, is put your knee there. But then it's against the wing, and then you put all that force on the bloody wings. And then you bend them, and then you can't unbend them.
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this TV would be interesting to install.
I mean, it's not, in terms of installing, besides moving it, installing is super easy. because you just have this sort of VESA mount plate on the back with like hooks, and you have the button on the back to move the whole assembly up and down. You put it up, you hang the TV, you put the security bolt or stuff in, and then you're basically done, and you route cables. I mean, and you do a bit of the adjusting of the wings with like a bit of a ruler, so it's like all nice and square.
Yeah.
And then once it's square, that you do this without lamellas. You put the lamellas on and you start cable managing, and it's. What I also like is that the rotating floor stand has the bolt feet in it from the top, so you can level it perfectly, even if your floor is crooked.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because mine, the concrete eater is ported by a fucking blind man.
Yeah, because this normal stand doesn't have those adjusters in it. So this normal unmoving stand is just flat, and it is what it is. But then again, it's also a lot narrower, so it matters a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, you can also, if it bothers you because, let's say, the floor is slightly crooked, you can you can move the whole assembly in the back with set screws so the TV is level again.
Yeah, for me, the important part would be just to level the floor stand, because it would be rotating. Because once you level it without, like, with the set screws and shit, and then it starts turning, and all of a sudden just goes to this crooked mode. And fuck.
Bye.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna have any of that today. So.
I mean, if my living room was going to be permanent, I would actually do a wall mount personally, and just hang it 2, 3, maybe 3, probably 2 inches off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's actually kind of easy because you pop it in the bottom, and the whole TV can lean forward in the wall mount, so you can get behind it still. And do all your cable management. And then it's really minimal. Because especially if you go an enormous size like 77 or 88 inch, are you really going to move it all that much? Does it matter even? How far off angle are you going to be before that matters?
Well, for me, it's just the rotating the TV out of the way, right?
Yeah.
If I rotated the Avant before I leveled it, holy fuck, dude, like the TV was just like, literally you could see, like, it's just like, I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, but for me, with like 77 where it sits right now, right, if I do this, I can watch TV.
Yeah, of course.
Like, do I need to spend another 2 or 3 grand?
Squeeze by it though, fuck, like that's my problem, right? If I bought a 77, then I would have to have it move out of the way if I wanted to ever fucking see my outside of the balcony again. Well, that would be 88. 77 would be like still, walk like an Egyptian freaking sideways onto the balcony. Yeah, so I'm not interested in that
Crap, people. No,
so,
I mean, if people are or used to be interested in harmonies, or sorry, not harmonies, in BeoVisions, and they always thought they were too expensive, I think B&O can improve on this and don't fully, sort of stop caring so much about what a BeoVision used to be, because clearly we're going in a new direction.
Yeah.
It's such an easy upsell where even the old TVs, the thing that would last the longest was the fucking speakers.
Yeah, the TV was never, like, you never blew the speakers before you had the TV give up the ghost, unless I don't know what random circumstance that would cause that, but...
And this is exactly that. The most important thing is separate from everything else, and you can keep on replacing. You can totally change the looks with other covers and whatnot. Depending on size, they're not cheap, obviously, but... And they can be outright expensive when it's 88 inches because you have massive covers.
Yeah.
But
the damn everything is well, at that point the panel is expensive itself for an 88-inch screen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but they've already dropped. But like, take the 77-inch panel, right? 77-inch OLED used to be crazy expensive. I think the G or the C1 panel has already dropped in price, and it's already like €6,000.
From what, 9?
From 7.5 earlier in the year. I mean, B&O could never offer a TV if it was custom panels in that size for that money. I mean, if it follows like it did the GX and the G1 or the C9, right? By the end of the year, the 77-inch panel is going to be $5,000 or less. And the beauty of it all is that if you really don't want to, you don't have to buy the panel at B&O. You can buy it at a discounter for even less.
Yeah. Set it up yourself, because there's really not much other than installing the B&O app on the screen, and Bob's your uncle.
It's really easy, because the VESA mount on the back doesn't change. It's just 4 screws in the back of the TV, you hang it, and you're more or less done, and you route cables.
Yeah.
I wonder, Generic Enthusiast says 83-inch C1 this year. I wonder if B&O is going to make panels for that. Because they've made an 83-inch C1, which is going to be $12,000 instead of 40 for the 88.
Oh, fuck.
So are they going to make that intermediate size available? I kind of hope they do. Because for B&O, the only thing it changes is the oak lamellas or the fabric panels. I mean, you just make them a bit longer.
Or, I guess, shorter from the 88.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an extra size of panels because the rest fits and can carry it. And unless they have some sort of agreement with LG that they won't.
That those are the sizes that we agreed on, and that's the end of it.
But it would be kind of nice to have a Harmony that is enormous, bigger than 77-inch, but doesn't cost an arm and a leg like the 88-inch does.
Yeah, the 88-inch is a little out.
Also, the 88-inch is based off the Z9 or ZX or Z1 or whatever it is. ZX, Z1. Which is the one that comes on that furniture piece from LG. That's why you have the whole aluminium covers on the back, because the power supply is separate from the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to hide that all. And the C1 83-inch doesn't have that. That's all built in like all the regular panels like mine. Which would be nice, because that would also save you an arm and a leg. Because those aluminium cover panels on the back aren't cheap.
No, I wouldn't even consider that big of a TV for my...
Yeah, but even so, like, I mean... Roughly thinking about it now, an 88-inch costs what, like $45,000 at the moment? Harmony?
That's insane. Let me just see what the fuck it is in Kanaki dollar.
That is insane, but if you can get the cheapness, which is still going to be fucking expensive compared to all the other size OLEDs, the 83-inch version for like $25,000. Wouldn't you go for the 25 or the 83-inch at that point?
88-inch doesn't have a price. 77 is 26,500 and 88-inch is free. And they also have weird, they only show it as a 65-inch on the natural covers. Oh god. Yeah, no, it doesn't show the price.
I mean, the 88-inch is 8K, but like, who the fuck cares about 8K at the moment?
That's just one more thing to upscale to.
Yeah. I mean, 8K sucks with anything below 4K source.
Well, yeah, because now you're doing the fucking 8 times on a 1080p picture to upscale it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Or 6 times, I guess, whatever it is.
I mean, 8K will come, don't get me wrong. It'll be here eventually, but currently it's nonsense. Like, it's possibly going to be a thing in like 5 years. I would hate to start having to edit YouTube videos in 8K. Fuck me, that's going to suck.
How big those files would be.
Enormous. I mean, it's going to be like 40 gigabytes for 10 minutes at that point. For the finished file, not all the B-roll and all that nonsense.
Wow. Yeah, 7680, that's 4 times the scale of the 1920.
Yeah, it's too much, man. I like.
Can you imagine like the 720p regular feed television looking on this? Like, it would look like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to make it better is sit further away, but then why do you buy such an enormous TV?
I don't know.
I mean, I could possibly go 83-inch, but 77-inch from where I sit to here is already fucking enormous. It's sort of... You're just shy of watching tennis like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that at all.
I mean, it's sort of like tennis is now this sort of thing, not that sort of thing.
I think, like, if I were to go, 77 would be the biggest screen I would ever consider. And the reason why, because 65 is... 65 would fit perfectly in here. But I just don't like the look of the fucking panels on the 65. They look way too chubby.
Yeah, it becomes a bit square.
Yeah, it becomes way too square. Like, it's still square with the 77, but it's just the panels are not as pronounced. In my onion.
So. Yeah, 65 is a bit that, 77 is a bit more that.
Yeah,
and 88 inches too far that way.
Yeah, 88 inches, insanity. Yeah, 88 inches cool, but that's too much. Way too big. Way too big for my liking.
I kind of do want to see 83-inch because that would be a nice intermediate. Yes, I know B&O is high-end, but 83-inch is fucking large. Do you care about that last 5 inches, which is quite a bit bigger, but not 20k bigger. 20 grand bigger to me.
Yeah. No, I think that's it's an overkill. But to each their own, right? Like, some people like that kind of crazy shit.
Yeah,
or have their room big enough.
Woodcassette says it depends on the size of your room, but I think 65 is my personal largest before I'm willing to go projector. Personally, I would go bigger TV as long as it fits every day. Because TV, especially OLED, you can use ambient light, no ambient light.
You don't have the projector fan noise, because that's always an ever-present issue.
Black is black, like pitch black.
It's off, yeah. It's pitch black off, or you can't do that on the projector no matter what.
I mean, if I could get a TV that could roll itself out this way, right? And it could become 120 inches, I would do that.
Then you might as well buy that nonsense Samsung fucking cluster panel on the wall.
Yeah, but
display.
Then you're still looking at it, because I'm not every night going to take like half the clusters off. Like, I don't want to watch my fucking news like that. I don't want to see the pores of the newsreader. No,
dude. It's enough detail in the porn nowadays, let alone the fucking newscasters. God sakes.
Yeah. I guess it's good for certain males because it makes everything looks bigger.
That's right. All the parts are bigger.
Or what you could do is buy E8 3.0 and put that in your pants.
Then you have a Tic Tac. All right, let's call it. We're going down the gutter.
Are we going to be on Twitch tomorrow again?
You bet.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to tell us in the comments which tip you use and how you use it. Whichever tip that may be. And thank you all for watching. Have a good one. And see you all tomorrow on Twitch on the purple side. And gonna roll the outro. And bye.